Patriots, this is one of those moments, one of those stories that could quietly reshape the Second Amendment law across the entire country. And most people haven't even heard what just happened. The state of Florida just told a court that it got it wrong, that it convicted a man in violation of the Second Amendment. And not just any conviction, a felon-in-possession conviction. It's huge. Let's break this down, because if you care about constitutional rights, due process, and the future of the Second Amendment laws here in America, this is huge. So let's talk about what happened. This case is Christopher Morgan versus the state of Florida, currently before Florida's First District Court of Appeals. And in February, on the 13th this month, they filed with the court, and the Florida Attorney General's office did something almost unheard of. They confessed error. Yeah, error. Let me explain. Christopher Morgan was convicted in Pennsylvania back in 2007 for carrying a firearm without a license, without a permission slip. A third-degree felony under Pennsylvania law. That's it. No violent crimes, no assault, no robbery, no pattern of dangerous behavior. Just happened to have an item that's lawfully covered under the Constitution, and he happened to possess it. Now, according to the state's own filing, he had no other criminal convictions besides that 2007 charge. Well, fast forward to 2022. Morgan, in a Florida traffic stop, told officers, hey, I got a firearm in the center console here. And he also told them about the old Pennsylvania felony. So Florida charged him with felon in possession. He challenged the law as unconstitutional as applied to him under the Second Amendment. The trial court denied his motion, and he pleaded no contest, preserving his right to appeal, which is smart. And here's where things get historic. The Attorney General in Florida initially defended the conviction, but then, after what they call studied reflection, they reversed course. The Attorney General told the court, quote, the conviction does indeed infringe Morgan's right as a non-dangerous felon to keep and bear arms, end quote. Pause, play that again. The state of Florida now says that disarming all felons categorically violates the Second Amendment, at least when the felony does not demonstrate dangerousness. And that's massive, guys and gals. And so is this. Here is your chance as my subscriber to be part of the channel. I've partnered with a small veteran-owned business called felon-in-possession to bring you this awesome chance to win this $3,000 set of AGM PVS7 night vision goggles. Just click the link in the description or go to felon-in-possession.com/gadgets, buy a limited edition collectible or a digital download, and not only do you get some cool merch, but you get a chance to win these NVGs, and you are able to genuinely help support the growth of this channel and my ability to keep delivering content for you that is of high quality. So click the link in the description, go to felon-in-possession.com/gadgets, or use this QR code, grab some limited edition merch or a digital download, and you're automatically entered to get a chance to win these NVGs. Thank you for your support and good luck. Now, the Attorney General's filing here in Florida explains something that 2A scholars have been arguing for years. There is strong historical evidence supporting disarming dangerous individuals, but there is no historical tradition of permanently disarming all felons, especially non-violent, regulatory, or technical offenders. And that matters because of one case, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen. Under Bruen, gun laws must align with the historical tradition of firearm regulation at the time of the founding. Not policy preferences, not modern politics, not fear-based arguments. History. And Florida just admitted that the history, it does not support this blanket felon ban. And that's exactly what courts across the country are wrestling with right now. So let's be clear about something. This is not about violent criminals. This is about whether the government can permanently strip a constitutional right from someone who committed a nonviolent regulatory offense nearly 20 years ago and has lived peacefully ever since. Now, Morgan's own conviction was for carrying without a license in Pennsylvania 2007. It's the only conviction he had. It's not a robbery, it's not homicide, it's not armed assault. It's paperwork. He has a Second Amendment, and possessing a firearm is covered by the Second Amendment. So it's on the state to prove text history and tradition says otherwise. Now think about the implications. If Florida's position holds, and the courts may have to begin distinguishing between dangerous felons and non-dangerous felons. And that distinction could ripple nationwide. And as the Florida Attorney General states explicitly, the Second Amendment permits the government to dispossess felons when convictions indicate they are dangerous, but not all felons are a categorical matter of dangerousness. That language is critical because for decades, courts have simply said felons can be disarmed, period. But Bruen changed the analytical framework. And now courts must ask, was there a historical tradition of disarming non-violent offenders? And historically, there wasn't. The founding era laws focused on people who possessed an actual threat to public safety, rebels, traitors, and violent actors. Not someone who failed to obtain a license, a permission slip to the government. Now, the Attorney General has requested permission to file a supplemental brief arguing the historical case in detail. So he wants to give more information on how this is unconstitutional. And here's the stunning part on this. They're urging the appellate court to reverse the conviction. That means the state of Florida itself is asking the court to vacate the felon in possession conviction. And that's not normal. Pam Bondi could learn a couple things here. This could create one of the first major state-level appellate decisions embracing the dangerousness standard post-Bruen. And if this happens, expect this argument to show up in federal appellate courts, district court challenges, and potentially the United States Supreme Court. Because the question of whether nonviolent felons can be categorically disarmed is one of the next major frontiers in Second Amendment litigation. Now let's zoom out a little bit. Across the country, courts are reevaluating nonviolent felony prohibitions, drug user prohibitions, mental health prohibitions, and administrative disqualifications. And all of those are going to be looked at under the Bruen historical test. And now, a state attorney general in Florida is acknowledging that the Constitution matters more than defending a past conviction. Guys, that is significant. Not because it's politically convenient, but because it shows the constitutional scrutiny is working. If courts adopt this reasoning here, we may see individualized hearings instead of automatic lifetime bans, meaning, what did this person do, rather than, it's just a felon. A restoration of rights for nonviolent offenders is something that could come out of this, narrowing the felon in possession statutes, and more litigation challenging categorical prohibitions. And let me say this clearly for you, especially the ones in the back. The Second Amendment does not say the right of the people, except those that we don't like. It says the right of the people, period. The debate now is who qualifies as the people. And historically, that category did not exclude every person with a felony conviction, especially when that conviction was nonviolent and decades old. Patriots, this case may not dominate the headlines, but legally, it's seismic. Florida is telling a court, we violated the Second Amendment. We convicted a non-dangerous man for exercising a constitutional right. That is not, you don't see it every day. In 24 years in courts that I worked, I never heard, this would never happen. And if this spreads, the entire architecture of categorical gun prohibitions could be reevaluated and crushed. We'll be watching this one very closely because this affects millions of people. And this is how constitutional rights are restored, one case at a time. And don't forget, tonight is your last chance to enter to win this set of $3,000 AGM PVS-7 night vision goggles and support the channel and get some cool merch in return. Go to fanofthem.com/gadgets and enter tonight by 11:59 p.m. Pacific. Good luck. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the subscribe button, share this video, and drop a comment down below. Do you believe nonviolent felons should automatically lose gun rights for life? Let's have that conversation because it's coming to a courtroom near you. And for those who say, well, felon, gotta go, look and see how easy it is for you to get charged with a felony today for things you do in your normal life. Guys and gals, I love y'all, really do. Stay armed, stay free, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.